want me to take you a tour?
You have been killing Great Britain, have been killing how many Muslims all over the world?
Let's talk about the persecution of Christians in the Islamic world.
And Jews.
Churches in Pakistan are being bombed. This year, tens of thousands of Christians were butchered in North Nigeria by Muslim jihadis. In Egypt, there are regular anti-Christian pogroms in which businesses, churches and Christians are murdered in the street. And he wants to try and make me feel guilty for something that the British state does. And I am a Christian. I am not British. So his argument does not apply to me.
You are a big liar. You make us love Islam much more.
He says I am lying. He says I am lying.
You are so lying.
Get out your phones right now and Google persecution of Christians in Pakistan, Egypt and Nigeria, and you will see who the liar is. And he just walked away. Any questions? So, he's saying I'm lying. Google it, check yourselves. Google persecution of Christians in Nigeria and see if I'm lying or see if he's lying. Because the Nigerian Muslim stood right there, is an apologist for jihad. He is whitewashing the murder of tens of thousands of Christians. He's an anti-Christian bigot and a Christophobe. And if you think I'm being unfair, Google right now the persecution of Christians in Nigeria and you will see who is lying.
What do you know about Nigeria? I'm from Nigeria.
So are Christians being persecuted in North Nigeria? Christians. He's saying it's not true. Someone Google it. Just Google it and then click on the news button. Just Google it and click on the news button. So the Islamist apologist, this anti-Christian bigot, this apologist for the mass murder of Christians says that I am lying about the persecution of Christians. You must understand, this Islamist sympathizer is trying to justify.
You're lying, you're lying.
Right.
He's lying.
You're a liar. Where is your cow?
It's fine, Chad.
Hey, watching the cow.
What's the cow?
Yeah. Where is your cow?
Right.
Hey, where is your cow? Hey, watching the
Listen.
cow. You don't know anything.
Listen.
Where is your cow?
Freedom of
Listen. Listen.
true. What is lying?
It's not true. It's all lies.
No, you're a liar.
It's all lies.
You're a liar.
So let's quote from Release International. Release International is a human rights organization seeking to defend the rights of Christian minorities where they are being persecuted. This is what Release International says about Nigeria. Are you listening? Listen, I am going to read. Are you listening? Yeah. There are fears that Nigeria's presidential election is in 2023 could be a step on the way to the breakup of the nation. Every indication suggests Nigeria is at a pivotal point of its history, says Release International, a partner in that country. The election in 2023 will determine whether the nation grows as an entity or disintegrates. Release International's partners say pressure is building from Islamists in the north, including terrorist groups, for an independent Islamic state. The call for the cessation is now being echoed in southern regions. overshadowing these challenges are persistent attacks against predominantly Christian communities.
I disagree with that.
Prove
They
it.
attack everybody.
Prove it.
They attack everybody.
Including Christians.
Muslims as well.
So they do attack Christians.
No, they do attack Muslims as well.
They attack Christians, do they
Muslims
not?
as well.
Do they attack Christians?
Muslims as well.
Yes, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. Do they attack Christians?
Who is attacking the Christians?
You said as in your attempt to be apologist and whitewash the persecution of Christians like a Christophobic bigot, like an apologist for Islamists, you tried to say that Christians were not persecuted in Nigeria. Yes, that is exactly what you said. You said it was a lie. You said it was a lie. So are Christians being targeted? There you go. You've lied again. I've just shown you from that you don't believe that one. You don't believe that one. So let's pull up another one. Yeah, he's not going to believe anything because this guy is an apologist for Islamic radicalism. He's an apologist for Islamic violence against Christians. He's an Islamist sympathizer who's attempting to justify the mass murder of Christians. And my brothers and sisters, you should be enraged that this man is walking around in this country. Our country is a worse place because he is here. He should be deported for his lies about Christians and the sufferings of Christians in Nigeria because he is an apologist for Islamist violence. Why am I lying? So, you're saying Christians are not attacked in Nigeria?
Nobody's attacking.
Nobody is attacking Christians. Nobody. Nobody. How do you know it's not true? You're Nigerian. So how do you know Nigerian Christians are attacked in Nigeria? Don't run away, Islamist. Right, tell me. Tell him. Tell him. He's the liar. Tell him.
Right, they are killing Christians in the north. You know this. The Boko Haram, you know this.
They kill everybody.
Okay, so they are killing.
So they are killing Christians.
They're killing Muslims.
So are they killing Christians?
These are a group of criminals.
Are they killing Christians?
Who are killing people? Who are
Islamists.
No.
There we go. There we go. So, Moses, this ignorant apologist for Islamist violence, come and talk about what's happening. Yeah. So Moses corrected that Islamist apologist by pointing out that his own family in Nigeria are witnesses to the violence against Christians. Would you like to have a conversation? It's going to be on camera, bro. Go on.
See, the people that are killing people in Nigeria are criminals.
Are they killing Christians?
No, they kill.
There you go. He's lying again.
Everyone.
So is everyone including Christians?
Why is it only Christian?
I answer the question.
Criminals.
Are they attacking Christians? Bro, can you find another example from your phone? Unlock your phone.
It has nothing to do with religion.
Go to another news source. I went to Release
Nothing to do with
International.
religion. These are
Answer the question.
They are not Muslims.
When they go into a church and blow it up and shoot at the Christians and shout Allahu Akbar, are you saying that's got nothing to do with religion?
No, it has nothing to do with religion.
Right. Fulani militants murder 300 Christians and destroy 28 churches
When?
since May.
Since this year.
Since May, 300 Christians killed and 28 churches destroyed. Tell us again we're lying.
You're lying.
Right, so this news source is lying as well.
He's a liar.
It's a lie. This news source. Yeah, it's a news source that's lying, right? Are there Fulani militants? Are there Fulani militants?
Those are criminals.
Are there Fulani militants?
They are criminals.
So yes is the answer to the question.
No.
Do those Fulani militants?
They are
Do those
criminals.
Fulani militants kill Christians?
Some of them are Christian.
There you go. Finally, our Islamist apologist,
Some of them are Christian.
our whitewasher of the genocide of Christians in Nigeria,
Just believe in
this
himself.
anti-Christian bigot has finally admitted.
Listen, I'm from Nigeria.
I don't care.
But listen to
Moses is from Nigeria. His family is from Nigeria. I have Nigerian friends, bro. Just saying I'm from Nigeria proves nothing except you were willing to lie to protect Islam and the Islamists from the butcher and the murder of Christians. That's what you did. That is what you did, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Should be utterly ashamed. And my country shouldn't let people like you in. We should deport you. Seriously. I know we can't. I know we can't. But we should deport you.
I never do anything.
We should deport you because you are an Islamist sympathizer, a whitewasher of the murder of thousands of Christians, and that tells me that you are willing to justify
Because
evil.
I said the truth. That's why you are accusing me.
What? So I presented facts. What have you presented? Go on. What are your facts?
I'm from Nigeria.
Proves nothing. That proves nothing. That proves nothing.
Boko Haram are fighting the Muslims.
They're killing Muslims, they're killing Christians, they're killing even Muslims.
Right. So,
Did you hear?
yeah. Why are they killing Muslims?
They kill everybody.
No. Why are they killing Muslims?
They're just a bunch of criminals.
They are killing Muslims because they say that the Muslims
They
are
are criminals.
kuffar. That's why they do it. You see, you lied again. You lied again. You lied again.
It seems to me
You
that
lied
know
again.
much, you know much about Nigeria.
You lie. I know more about Nigeria than you.
Yeah,
Yes,
I can see,
absolutely.
I can
I
see.
really do
And
know
you're
more
so
about
confident.
Nigeria. I really do know more about this issue in Nigeria than
And you're
you
so confident in
do.
yourself.
Absolutely.
What you believe.
Absolutely.
So there's no way
I
to
know
change
more
you.
about now. You're a liar. Of course
No,
you
I'm
can't
not-
change
I'm not
it.
lying. I'm
You're
not lying.
you're
I'm just
absolute
telling
liar. So the Muslims that are killing Muslims are killing them because they don't believe that they're Muslim.
Where
And
is
when
it
they
going?
kill Christians, yeah, he's not listening, so I'll say it to the camera. And when they kill Christians, they kill them because they are Christian.
No, there was not. I have no idea. Anyway,
And there you go. He said, "I have no idea."
because I'm from
There
the
you
south.
go.
I'm from the
Oh,
south.
he has no idea because he's from the south.
Yeah.
So in other words,
Yeah.
he was lying all
I'm
along.
not lying.
He was lying all along.
What is happening?
He was lying all along. He was lying all along.
South is very peaceful.
Yes, and why is that? Because it's predominantly Christian.
No.
Yes. Why is so the violence is in the north?
I don't know anything about the north.
And who's the majority in the north? There you go. So the south has peace because it's majority
I'm from the
Christian.
south. I'm from the
The north has war because it's majority Muslim.
I don't know anything.
Solution,
about it, to be honest.
the north needs to become Christian.
I-
He's a liar, Moses. He's a liar. He's willing.
Majority Christian, you know this.
Of course, but I don't know what's going on in the north.
He's already
I know.
admitted he doesn't know.
I don't know. I go
So
to
he
the
was
south.
lying when he said.
Majority Muslim.
Do you know what is going on in
But you
Scotland?
know they're majority Muslim though.
Of course. they
So
are
when he
majority.
said that no one was killing Christians, he was lying.
There was nothing like
Yeah,
that. It was-
because now you've said you don't know what's happening in the north.
You can't understand.
No, you can't understand. You got caught out on a lie and you can't admit it. Because you said no one is killing anyone in Nigeria.
In the south.
No, you didn't say that. You said in Nigeria. And I spoke, when I spoke, I said the north of Nigeria and you accused me of lying. And now what you're saying, is you don't know.
I'm from Nigeria. I've never heard all these things you're saying.
So
Now,
you
are talking as if there
don't
was a
know.
mass killings of the Christians.
There are mass killings.
I have a lot of family.
There are mass
I
killings
have
of
a lot of family
Christians.
who are Christian.
There are mass
I'm
killings
from
of
the south, you know.
There are that's fine, but that changes nothing.
Yeah.
There are mass killings of Christians. There are mass killings of Christians in the north
So
of
what are you going to do
Nigeria.
now? What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Yes.
I'm going to raise its profile. I advocate that Nigeria should split in two and the south should
the
separate
British
from the
government
north.
does not want
I
us
know.
to split.
I know.
We
The
are
British
being-
government stopped the splitting of Nigeria.
Yeah,
You
yes.
see, I know more about Nigerian history.
you know.
Yes, exactly. I know I do.
You're right.
Yes, I know I'm right. I know I'm
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Because when the south, I think it was the southwest or southeast, I can't remember.
southeast.
When they tried to separate from Nigeria,
And those Southeast
the
are
British, the
predominant- And
Americans.
they are predominantly Christian, those ones that want to pull out of Nigeria.
Yes, I know, exactly, and I support them.
And the British was
The British
of
stopped
the
them.
North.
Brother, I'm not British.
Yeah, you are. Where are you
Have you
from?
taken that on board?
Where are you from?
I'm a Christian. I
Okay.
don't believe in
Let me
national
look. You're
identity.
Irish.
I don't believe in national identities.
Okay.
I'm just a Christian.
The same your government,
Whose government?
the British government,
No.
I support
No.
giving arms to these northerners.
I agree. The British
who are you
government.
going to blame?
The
You're blaming
British.
me?
I'm blaming you for lying about what's
I'm not
happening.
lying.
You did lie.
I didn't. I
Right.
didn't lie.
Do you admit you were wrong? If you say you're wrong, I will apologize for calling you a liar and a sympathizer with Islamists.
I'm not wrong. in
Then
the
if
sense
you're
that-
not wrong, you are an
Excuse
apologist
me,
for Islamists.
I'm talking based on my own understanding from the West.
Which you've already admitted
From
is
the south.
ignorant, and I'm
Yeah,
talking
maybe it's
about what is
ignorant. I will
happening in
agree
northern
if you say
Nigeria.
it's ignorant. Because to be honest with you, I don't really know what's going on in the north.
So why did you say I was lying then?
Because I've never had all this in.
But you accused me of lying.
I travel to Nigeria all the time.
So what?
I've never experienced the killings you are talking about.
Well, brother,
In the south.
I have Christian friends from Nigeria who have lost relatives
Where? In the north or south?
in Nigeria, in the central belt of
Okay,
Nigeria.
to the belt.
right? By Fulani militants who came into their village.
Fulani militants kidnap.
They
kill everybody. They kill everybody.
They attack Christians, bro.
Not
They
only
target
Christians.
Christians.
Not only Christians.
They target
attack
Christian
everybody.
villages.
Everyone.
So you knew about that
I
then?
can go and live with them.
Right, brother,
Kill
you
me
can't
too.
state two contradictory things.
Yeah.
Either Islamist militants are attacking Christians or they are not
They are
attacking
not
Christians.
Islamic extremists.
They are Islamic extremists.
It seems that you hate Islam.
I do hate Islam.
That's okay. There's no point in talking to you again.
Why not?
I'm a Muslim.
I don't hate you. You're a
I'm
Muslim.
a Muslim.
I said I hate your ideology, not you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
great.
Okay,
I'll talk to
okay.
you, even though you are an apologist
I'm
for
a
Islamist
Muslim.
violence.
I'm a Muslim. I don't kill people. I've never killed
I never said you
anybody.
did.
Yes.
I never said all Muslims did it.
So because I'm saying the truth, that I have no knowledge of whatsoever.
I know you don't, but here you are.
soliciting for the British government to deport me back to Africa.
I want them to deport you, yes.
Why?
Because you are an apologist for Islamic violence and you don't belong in this country. Apologists for Islamic
I'm a
violence like
peaceful
you
person.
do not belong in this country.
Why?
You are an apologist for Islamic violence and you
That's what
don't.
implicates
And my
me.
country is a worse place with you in it. It is. You make my country a worse place. Because if you're willing to justify Islamic violence in Nigeria, you will apologize it for in other parts of Europe
Why
and
would
in
I
England.
apologize for what I don't know about?
Exactly.
I live all my life.
But you did though.
I live all my life
You
here.
did though.
No.
We have you on camera, bro, and everybody saw you do it.
Yes, I'm not going to happen.
There you go.
Going to search for me.
Right now, you could just say you were wrong. In which case, if you're willing to admit,
I'm not.
there you go.
I'm
So
not
you
gonna
are an
apologize
apologist for Islamic
nothing.
violence.
I'm not going to apologize for nothing.
There you go.
because
So
I've
you
never done
are an
anything wrong.
apologist for Islamic
I've
violence.
never done anything wrong, and I don't advocate for any violence.
You are an apologist for violence occurring against Christians because you're trying to cover it up.
No.
And you're trying to
You are
defend
wrong.
it.
You said that I never.
That is exactly what you've done.
No.
Yeah, you're saying that Christians aren't being targeted for being Christian.
No, the criminals.
They are being targeted.
These
And you're
people-
saying that they're not Islamist militants.
My
They
God.
are Islamist militants.
Nice to talk to you, gentlemen.
Have a good day.
I wish
Take
you
care.
good luck.
And you.
Be careful.
Yeah, you be careful. So what we saw, bro. Good. That's fine. So what we saw, guys, is a Muslim accusing me of lying when I tried to raise the profile of persecuted Christians. I hope you all note that very well. And we mustn't allow these Islamist apologists to go unchallenged in their narrative. If someone is trying to whitewash Islamist violence against the church, we need to call them out. Because it is Christophobia to whitewash or justify violence against Christians. And that is what he did. If I was to try to whitewash or otherwise justify a violent attack against Muslims like that one that occurred in New Zealand, everyone would call me an Islamophobe, and they would be absolutely right for doing so. If I attempted to whitewash that attack in New Zealand, I would be described as an Islamophobe, and it would be correct to do so. For the record, I condemn the attack against the mosque in New Zealand. But this guy had the audacity, even though he admitted that he did not know, to try to justify the mass murder of tens of thousands of Christians. And he did it even though he admitted that he was ignorant, which means that he thinks there's no possibility that Muslims can ever persecute Christians, which means that he is enabling the persecution of Christians. Our country is a more dangerous place with people like this in it. Because if they are willing to whitewash the murder of tens of thousands of people in North Nigeria, they will also attempt to justify terrorist attacks in other parts of Europe and England.
Do you condemn the Lord's Resistance Army, just for example?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay, that's good. Perfect.
Yeah.
And one more thing. These Muslims, they go on about apartheid, for example, in Israel. When they listen, I have a map of parts of Northern Africa, Saudi Arabia, Middle East, Iran, and Turkey, of the populations of Jews in those countries in 1978 and time around then. And here's the thing: there's over 1 million of them in everywhere but Israel in those areas. Now there's only 30,000.
Right.
And it's not because of Israel and everyone left for them. It's
Okay.
because of anti-Semitism.
Yes, the Jewish and Christian populations of the Middle East have been depopulated because of Islamic violence against Christians.
Yeah.
Over 1400 years. And as Christians, we need to remember our history. We need to teach it to our children. We need to teach it to one another. And we must allow that history to inform our politics.